the big moment of this week's episode, season 7 finale predictions. I'm still so excited. Maester Hypemon, if you've watched my favorite video about Game of Thrones, which is the Cleganebowl hype video.
Right.
I feel like Maester Hypemon is here because at this point, Game of Thrones can do whatever the F they want. And I think they're for sure gonna do Cleganebowl in the finale. I think there's like no question. And I've like been playing a fun game of piecing together all like the footage from the trailers that haven't come out yet. And there's this one shot of a guy who to me looks a lot like the Hound, down in the south, you know, like wielding his sword. And I was like, well, how could they ever get the Hound down to King's Landing this season? Probably in between episodes, if I was to guess at this point, in the speed that they're going. In the promo for next week's episode, and I guess this is when we talk about the fact that we're going to be potentially spoiling in theoretical form next week's episode. We see Cersei meeting Jon Snow, Davos, I think Beric is there. Like you see a lot of different characters who are from the group, notably not the Hound.
They're all in King's Landing.
Yeah, well, they're all in the Dragon Pit.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And so they're meeting on this platform that looks a heck of a lot like the last time they had a trial by combat with Oberyn and the Mountain. And I feel like if ever they were to have the time to have Sandor Clegane the Hound fight Gregor Clegane the Mountain, like this will be it. And why wouldn't they at this point? They're doing everything else. To this scale. Do you like the Cleganebowl theory? I know it's very popular with a lot of fans, and I personally am not a huge fan of it.
So I would like for those two characters to fight if there's any sort of emotional meaning behind it, right? Like if it makes narrative sense, then I think absolutely let the two biggest guys in the entire kingdom who are brothers and who kind of hate each other and are on opposite sides, let them go at each other. That's a opportunity for tremendous drama and storytelling. I would love it if they did it that way. It may just be sort of a toss-off because, oh, look, this is popular on Reddit. Let's throw it in to give the fans what they want.
And a lot of people, when I wrote up a piece about how I think Cleganebowl is coming, the hype that was promised, are like, no, that doesn't make sense. Maybe she finally will have Ilaria get brought out, which I don't think we'll see Ilaria this season. I believe Indira Varma, who plays her, said she's not in this season anymore. She could bring out Yara. It looks like Theon is going to come back into the fray. But I still just feel like what we're building up to, like Cersei will have had 2 episodes to figure out what am I going to do when this Dragon Queen shows up. I can't beat her dragons. Well, I do have the strongest zombie man alive. Why don't I say trial by combat and then I'll listen to you? The real question is like, why would Sandor Clegane be the one who Dany nominates? But I would imagine he would nominate himself in that situation. Like I already didn't stand up to this evil enemy and I let Thoros die in front of me in this last episode because he was burning alive, and they keep getting brought up how he was thrown into the fire. Like maybe he will finally stand up and want to face his brother in this way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's totally possible. For me, that is an interesting opportunity for them to do some cool storytelling. For me, the big things it needs to resolve are, you know, is Arya going to get through her list? Is Littlefinger going to get what's coming to him? Is anybody actually going to be upfront about Jon's parentage? And what's the resolution going to be there between him and Dany? Like, that's what I want to see in the finale is, for this season at least, I want to see that knowledge come to light.
So you think, do you think in this finale though, these are predictions, so you can declare if you think it's going to happen? I mean, we know that Gilly has the book, Sam's traveling from Old Town, presumably going back up to Winterfell. Bran is there, he should know. Do you think that that will come out in this episode?
I think that somebody who knows will tell Jon. I think that is too important a plot element to leave dangling for next season.
That's a good finale moment.
It's a great finale moment. It's for Jon to figure out, oh, he's not actually a Stark on his father's side. He's a Stark on his mom's side. And by the way, he's half Targaryen. And by the way, he's Dany's nephew, right? Which is a whole nother weird situation.
Yeah, you know, if that happens, we will dedicate at least an hour to the incest of it all. And that's my promise to you guys. Bonus episode, if that comes out in the finale and Dany finds out that Jon is her nephew. Hypothetically, I mean, come on, it's going to happen.
But you mentioned like Ilaria and Theon. I don't care about that. I mean, I'm more interested in seeing what happens between Jaime and Tormund if they're both interested in Brienne. You know?
And you know that's going to happen. Okay, so we have Cleganebowl.
Right.
We have Jon's parentage coming out.
Right.
We have for sure love triangle between Tormund, Brienne, and Jaime. It's got to happen. I do think that the Littlefinger storyline will come to a climax. It has been so delicately paced all season long. The one thing that's been very slow this season, I think that, and I genuinely have no idea which direction it's going to go. I would imagine Littlefinger eats it, like someone will turn against him. But if not, I could see the Stark sisters full on battling against each other, because we know that Sansa is still up at Winterfell, and she has that line, "The lone wolf dies, but the pass." remains.
I want to see Arya kill Cersei. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I don't think that's good.
I don't
It's
think that'll
certainly not
happen
going to happen this
season.
week.
Yeah.
But like Cersei has to get it. They've got to save her for next season. She's too good a villain to let go before the final
I really thought
season.
going into the season that she might die. I thought that might happen, but I think she does have plot armor at
Who
this
fills
point.
the void for her, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, I thought that season 7 would focus a lot more on the internal conflict in Westeros, and season 8 would look outward. I really didn't expect to see them all coming together in this way and have Dany, presumably, because we don't see her in the promo, Jon and Cersei all in the same place. That being said, I think it's finally time. I think the Night King has a dragon. I think that they are going to reach the wall, and I never was one very partial to the theory that the wall is going to come down. But if ever a show was to do it, it's Game of Thrones at this point. And I'm going to put it. I'm just going to predict it. The wall will come down.
What? No, you're crazy.
You don't think so?
No, you're
Okay.
crazy.
I even did the Night King
They
thing.
they set it up in the books so much more strongly, and they've deviated so far from that. I don't.
Do you think he's going to make it? The Night King and his army will make it to and/or past the wall?
Oh, absolutely. I
the
don't.
finale.
I think there is possibly an assault on Castle Black or Eastwatch. I think the Night King does make it through. I don't think they make it all the way down to Winterfell, or maybe they hear from Brienne, who's leaving, like, oh my God, the Night King is coming. But no, I don't think they tear down the wall. But I don't think that enemy makes sense unless they're actually in the lands that we care about, and the other characters on the show care about. Nobody cares about the North.
Do you think that the Night King can fly on zombie
100%,
Viserion
100%.
over the wall?
Yes, absolutely. If Dany can do it, the Night King can do it.
Yeah, so maybe that happens. But he needs his armies behind him. Okay, do we have any other? So let's recap. Cleganebowl. We have
Tormund and Jaime.
Tormund, Jaime, love triangle.
Jon.
Jon's parentage coming out. Whatever's going to happen with Littlefinger happens with Littlefinger. And at least the Night King reaches the wall, if not it coming down.
Yeah, I feel pretty solid about
Pretty,
at least
those
3
are
or
like
4
all
of
the
those.
characters
Yeah.
that are left alive.
Yeah.
All right, well, we definitely want to know your predictions. Please, 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 if you've read the leaks, if you know what happens in the finale, don't give it away in the comments. But if you want to play the fun game of theories with us, sound off in the comments below. We definitely want to know. I think that's our show this week. That was a long one. We had a lot of thoughts, but we always appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciated everyone tweeting back when I did the call for talking points. I think we got most of them, but if not, we got a big episode for the finale. It's going to be an extra long episode of the show as well. So we're going to record it night of. You lucky folk, you're going to have to wait until Monday for your Dragons on the Wall. You're going to get it next Sunday night. And of course, we'll do our follow-up season 7 analysis as well. But that's about it for us. Another reminder to like, subscribe, and tell everyone you know if you want to talk about Game of Thrones more. Check out our show. Steve, thanks so much for being a great co-host this week.
Thanks, Terry.
Such a pleasure. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next week.